Hey there guys, welcome to my first video on my channel. Multiple things, excuse this thing on my face. I tried recording yesterday. I also had this on my face and I'm on my phone right now because my camera kept overheating, my battery wasn't charged, so I had it in clips and I'm like, I have to edit this before I go to work. Went to go edit it and none of the editing software on my phone or on my computer was working. So here I am doing it on my phone, trying it again on a Tuesday. I don't care. I just want this to work. Essentially what I'm going to share with you guys today is I figured would be the best video to kind of put out there first. And it's pretty much like my story, my background of who I am, what it turned me into today, I guess. And I'm going to be sharing every Monday because I wanted this to go up yesterday, but we're making it work and we're putting it out today. I'll share every Monday this month, kind of a little bit more about me so you can get to know me a little bit better. I want to talk about like what my vision is, what my plans are, why I am here on this social media world, talk about how you can achieve your goals, and then we're going to talk about like what my goals for 2019 are, how I plan on achieving them, and what they mean to me, I guess. But let's get started with my story. We're going to start when I was a younger kid, I guess, or just the background of what I grew up in, and then continue on into like high school, adult life, and now. I grew up mostly an only kid. I didn't have a brother and sister that are actually my half brother and sister on my dad's side until I was like 8 and 10. So I grew up by myself 99% of the time as an only child. I had my aunts and my mom and my grandparents, but I didn't have any siblings or cousins in that nearby area that I really grew up with and like had over all the time, did things with all the time. So I just kind of was by myself. I grew up in the country. I was definitely a tomboy, and caused a lot of ruckus. And I realized right away, kind of when I was a little kid, that me being a tomboy and none of the other girls in my class really being a tomboy was a weird thing, even though it, like, I don't know. I figured, like, oh, the guys would appreciate that I'm not just a weird girl, that I'm kind of one of them and I want to play sports, I want to do this. Yeah, no, nobody appreciated the fact that you were a tomboy when you were a little kid, which was irritating, and I don't know why, but that's definitely something I grew up with trying to figure out, is like, why am I the weird one? Why is this strange or whatever? I loved being outside. I was in sports up until we went into high school and then I stopped. But I loved doing sports. I loved being outside and running around and doing crazy things. I lived in the country. I had plenty of room to just run around in. I feel like being an only child kind of put a pedestal that was a little bit harder for me to reach, as I felt I kind of had to be the best since I was the only one, which you'd think it wouldn't be that hard to be the best if you're the only one, but in my mind it was kind of difficult. I remember going through middle school being bullied a lot. I loved school, I did. In high school I turned into a bad kid, whatever, kind of, but I loved doing my homework. I loved learning. I still love learning. I think the factor of just kids picking on me got to me a lot and definitely didn't help. I remember being younger in like right around like grade school to middle school, even though my school was all one, that they had like a class for kids whose parents were divorced or separated or whatever. My parents were never married, so essentially they were just separated. And they kind of taught us how to like cope with it. And I was talking to my life coach, Emily, one day, and she was like, that's kind of like, that's weird. I mean, in my words, it's weird. And I was like, a little bit, because then you're kind of like, oh, I'm the kid that's in the divorcee class, like friggin' learning about why they're trying to teach us it's not our fault and there's nothing wrong with us, even though our parents are together, yada, yada, yada. But in the end, it kind of feels like you're being isolated, and you're like, here's this group of 5 kids whose parents aren't together anymore, and it's weird. Like, they have to go in their own group because they're the only ones. And I'm like, I get it. It's fine. My parents aren't together. It's not that big of a deal. And so I think that sometimes was a little weird, because I've lived with like anxiety and depression. And I remember walking through the hallways in middle school and high school and being like, oh, this person, I talked to them about this the other day. Are they judging me now? Are they thinking weird about me? So walking through being like, oh, these kids know that my parents aren't together, that I'm a weird kid, that I don't have any brothers or sisters, and that we just live here and we do this. And I think that freaked me out. Having people having me think that people are thinking about me like that, even though they probably weren't. Moving on into high school, I was still definitely a little bit of an outcast. I definitely had like my emo, sad stage in life, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't really get picked on. I think just the picking on of middle school and everything carried on into high school, the feelings of it. And so those feelings of anxiety and thinking that people were thinking about me, since I was weird, I was an outcast at my old school, and I'm still that weird person. These kids are going to think I'm weird. I kind of found a group of people, but they probably weren't the best group to be with. There were a couple in there that were good. Most of them were bad. I definitely did some things like, sorry, Mom, I was a bad kid, I know. And I slowly kind of worked my way out of it. I found a teacher who definitely cared and appreciated me and wanted me to do better. I joined some extracurricular groups. I hear weird noises. I joined some extracurricular groups and got away from that group and kind of joined a different group. It wasn't until probably about junior, senior high school, I got student council president. Like, I started doing better. Things got better. I realized that people noticed me and thought good things of me rather than bad things. And I always remember, like, just getting picked on because, like, I did yoga, and people who do yoga are weird and whatever. I used to get called, like, a hippie and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm just me. This is what I like. I don't know what you want from me. And I just never understood, like, these kind of terms that people used. I embraced them because I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not that affected by it. It doesn't hurt me. I just didn't understand why they were coming at me like that and thinking like, oh, you're a hippie. You're a terrible person. I'm like, well, I enjoy the environment. The environment's cool. I enjoy yoga. I was a vegetarian for like 7-8 years. And people thought I was weird for that. But none of it mattered. Like, I tried to not let it affect me, but I definitely had a lot of problems. I didn't like to talk about them. It was difficult, and it's weird to even try and compose them to you right now, because I know it's something in my lineage of family that kind of continues on, and with my grandparents, the year and decade that they were born in and everything, it wasn't really something you discussed. Please stop. It wasn't something you talked about. You didn't talk about having depression, having anxiety, feeling this way or feeling that way, because it was weird. It wasn't okay. You're a weird person and stuff like that. It got a little bit better after high school, though. I found a group of friends that I actually enjoyed. The only thing that I see, even though I do find the positives in it, is I was in a relationship for about 3 years while I was still back home in North Dakota. And we were together for 2 years, and then we moved to his hometown in Minnesota. And the relationship just wasn't good. I realized personally that it was on both ends. I am a strong enough person myself to be like, hey, I was equally toxic in that relationship as you were to me. We didn't work well together. It was a toxic relationship. It just wasn't good. And definitely struggled a lot trying to find my place, trying to figure out what I was doing. I didn't go to school right away. I just kind of did that kind of stuff. I continued doing yoga. It was a little bit more on and off, but it was like my moment of silence in the day. And I definitely, because I think I had stopped for a little bit and I started back up and I was like, oh, dang, doing yoga every day in high school definitely changed my body. And then I stopped for a couple months and now it's like, you can't do that anymore. And I'm like, oh, crap. And I found fitness a little bit more once I moved here in Minnesota and started going to the gym. I found a lot of people at the time who were competing and doing bikini competitions or powerlifting competitions, which I thought entirely was cool. Excuse you, hamsters. And at the time I really wanted to compete. I know myself, I still have some things that I need to go through food and nutrition wise before I put myself through something like that. Because I am very competitive. It's something I just like to do, but I want to make sure that I personally am in the right mindset, nutrition, mental, body wise, to be able to go through that. I started working out. It's been a journey. I mean, it's been like 2 years now. Maybe three years. I've been here for 3 years, almost. And I slip up. It happens. It happens to all of us, and it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to not do something right and mess up. And that's one thing that I have been trying to teach myself in my own mental journey, I guess we could say. Mindset journey. I don't know. We'll think of something. Find something. I don't know. I've been trying to realize that things are okay, that I am the one who changes them, and that my life is good, and that one day I am gonna achieve my dreams. I just have to realize that it's possible. I keep doing that, and that's annoying. I'm sorry. I've been trying now to realize that I want my life to be better, that this is what I want it to be, and growing and improving upon that. I want to eventually just strictly work from home and help people realize that they deserve the body that they want or the body that they can achieve, and take out the myths of like the fitness and health industry and teach people how to change their mindset into realizing what they can and can't achieve, and helping them set realistic goals and changing their lives for the better so that they can then go change other parts of their life, words, and improve upon that. So that's kind of my goal. I am building upon my business right now. I'm a personal health fitness coach. And I too am a human. Like I said, I have a cold sore. Like, I can't say words sometimes. I mess up. I eat chips sometimes, and I'm like, shouldn't have done that, but it happened. But I'm still trying to find out who I really am, and I feel like it's kind of a lifelong journey. Currently, I know that I am at a state where I'm an understanding and accepting human being, and I still work on that on a daily basis, because sometimes I look at somebody and I'm like, okay, like, you're not a nice person or something, and I'm like, you know what, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe their day isn't going good. That's why they are in this mood or whatever. So I try to recognize not judging people and understanding them, trying to talk to them and understand them a little bit more. I'm trying to recognize that I too have goals and that I need to achieve them. and that I can achieve them and work on that, building upon my business, that I deserve to have a successful business, whether it be through myself and feeling fulfilled and successful, but also helping my future clients and making them feel successful in their lives with whatever they need and fulfilled that they've achieved their goals. I also want to have the freedom that I so wish to have, of being able to go visit clients, have something set up where we can go and meet in person, and being able to not live in an apartment one day, not having the financial burdens of life on me all the time, and being able to give back, essentially. I'd love to start my own organization, donate to organizations, and give back to the community I live in, to communities that my clients live in, and improve that, and just generally the world. And I still have lots of things to work through myself, mental, mindset-wise. I still have setbacks. I still have sad days. I say sad because I don't want it to be such a downer. But I try to recognize, like, hey, you know what? You're having a bad day. Hey, you know what? You're doing this because you're sad. You got to get up. You got to get moving. You got to do some things. Take your mind off of it. Clean the house. Write some Instagram captions. Something. Do something so that you aren't sitting there just dwelling, being like, I'm doing nothing. And I'm not achieving anything because I'm sad. And so that's definitely something I still have to work on myself. And I want to take you guys along on this journey with me. This video is already super long. And I'm trying not to freak out because it's my first video. And I just want to share my life with you guys. So next Monday I will be uploading again. I know I had an idea. So keep a peek on my YouTube, on my Instagram, and Facebook. Yeah, Facebook for that as well. I'll post some links down below. And you can always hit subscribe, and you'll be coming back next Monday. I don't know. And I'll see you the next couple Mondays this month, and the next month I'll have some more surprises for you guys. So until then, have a successful week, and I hope you guys just keep living your life. Have a good week, guys. Bye.